Hey guys, this is Robert Curtis with the Sharpen Go Mini and Sharpen Go Micro. I just wanted to show you guys a little field expedience thing I got here. I made myself a little little workbench, a little shelf next to a tree, using just a board, piece of piece of rope, and I did a V cut on a piece of wood and back, and I just set it down there, and I could just set my Sharpen Go Micro on there, my Sharpen Go Mini, or the mini, either one. Now, I always suggest using eye protection or glasses. Me, I'm a little older, so I need seeing eye glasses anyway. So I'm just gonna show you something, a little technique. A lot of times when you're in the salon, you're kind of on stage, and it's about showmanship. Okay, when you get in there, I would suggest going down to Harbor Freight and getting a set of one of these little devices. It's a magnifier, and it comes in a set of about 10 for different ratings. So when you take this, let's say you go down and you say, well, let me inspect your scissor. And the hairdressers, it's showmanship. You can pretty much inspect a scissor by, doing a wet Sanex test or just holding up to the light. But to really see that edge, especially when you're done, you can utilize something like this. And it kind of looks cool, and you do get to see the edge and see where the nicks are without just feeling for them. And it is kind of a little cool device to use in the salon, so they can see that you're really doing your job. A little extra stuff counts, And so I'm just gonna work a little bit on this and show you just how easy it is to. This thing is just less than 5 pounds for the Sharpen Go Micro. So turn it on and go in there with it. Already preset it, the angle at about 35 degrees. Put that in there. Got a burr? Oh yeah, we got a burr. Go up here, do this one on this side. In there. Now sometimes you need to take it apart and work that inside ride, get that ride line, that hone line straight. But if it doesn't have a hone line, like this one here don't really have a hone line, I'm not going to take off extra metal if I can bring that towards slide cut and everything. A lot of times people say, well, you need to have a hone line. No, well, that's not true, especially if you want some real detailed scissors to be able to slide cut and whatnot. You don't need more resistance on those blades coming together. So I actually prefer not having much of a hone line. If not, I prefer not to have one at all, if possible. But people are religious about, now if it's got a nick and something, you have to take it apart and you have to address that. And sometimes a hone line that's there is not 0 degree. And a lot of times they are. The last old boy that did it, he did the stones on it and everything, and you just work the outside edge. And that's really all you need to bring up a burr. Doesn't take much to bring up a burr. You don't have to get a massive burr on there. Just the least amount of burr is the best, because you're taking off metal there. And I think there's a company that wants you to take it apart and take the burr off on a whetstone. Well, you don't have to do that. You can do it on your leather pad, or you can put some chapstick on there and cut it off. Cut it on Sanex. Chapstick on both sides, and that protects the blade, and you cut it off. That's the second way that I teach to do it. But I'm going to just take it off with the leather. Just go in there. There you go. And it does two things. It takes off the burr and also buffs it up to where it's really nice and smooth on the inside. So we always finish on the outside edge. Pick up some speed though. Drop it, take it, drop it. You can put a little time on that leather too, it doesn't, probably more times better than less time, so maybe about 10 seconds per blade, be fine. Okay, that's good. Same thing here. just kind of blending it a little bit. I got some green rouge on there that it does act like a slight abrasive, but you kind of want to blend it if you're going to blend that in with the abrasive on. After you bring up that burr, you drop it down a little bit and you just rock it a little bit, or a little bit in and out, and then check it. And when you do the finish with the green rouge on the leather, that'll bring that smooth as far as bringing that convex back in there. So just let you know, it does work. Ooh, yeah, sharp, hair popping sharp. How long did that take? That didn't take hardly anything. And most good sharpeners, you know if that scissor really needs to be changed as far as just by the feel of it, in terms of the click plate and the washer in there. If it's not feeling smooth and it's skipping or whatever, then, or dragging, then you know to take apart, change those parts. Make sure your washer seats and lubricate it with some chapstick, and that way it'll have that glide feel when you're done. So those are just little tips with the little magnifier and things like that. We're out there together. I mean, you know, we're in this together. So you guys got ideas, I'm listening and open to listen to them. So this is Robert Curtis with Sharp and Go Mini, Sharp and Go Micro. You guys be safe out there. Thank you.